Hello, this is TelecomTV. We are at the Wireless Global Congress here in London, and I'm talking with Edgar Figueroa, who is the CEO of Wi-Fi Alliance. Edgar, thanks for talking to us. Welcome. Let's begin like this. You had recently done a study of the financial impacts on Wi-Fi in the United States. Can you extrapolate that for us to illustrate the importance of Wi-Fi to the global community?
I can indeed, and in fact, the study covers the whole world. It's a global impact study, and it focuses on 6 of the major world economies. In the UK, for example, we assessed that the value of Wi-Fi infusion of economic value into the UK economy is to the tune of £41.3 billion in 2018 alone, and that number is going to continue to grow. Worldwide, it's approaching $1.9 trillion in 2018. So what that means is that Wi-Fi is unequivocally an economic engine worldwide. And up to now, it's been one that's been relatively understated, maybe underappreciated. But now with these numbers, our hope is that there will be much more attention paid to policy that needs to be considered around making spectrum availability, for example, suitable for that economic engine to continue to hum along for very many years into the future.
Okay, thank you for that, and you've got the empiric evidence to back this up. A lot of people talk to me, and a lot of people have been talking around in events such as this. They're saying, well, yeah, Wi-Fi is great for what it is and what it was, but with 5G coming, it's the death knell. Within the next 2 years to 10 years, Wi-Fi will not exist. I take it you don't believe that.
Well, obviously, Wi-Fi is one of the foundations of our connected experience today. It carries around about 80% of all of the data traffic in the world. And in fact, it carries the bulk of traffic on mobile networks. So Wi-Fi is going to be here for a long time. And one of the great things about our industry is how innovative we are. We are currently working hard to bring about the next generation of Wi-Fi, which will be Wi-Fi 6. That's going to bring an even better experience with Wi-Fi. And the truth of the matter is that even today, Wi-Fi already delivers many of the use cases that are targeted for 5G. If folks want to make a safe bet around delivering on those use cases, Wi-Fi is an excellent choice, and it's available today.
You mentioned Wi-Fi 6. That I take it is what, 802.11ax? Is that correct?
That's right. We went through an effort recently to update our nomenclature, really to relieve the end users and the whole community of Wi-Fi fans from having to know a lot of the technical jargon around the different versions of Wi-Fi.
Sure. Well, Wi-Fi 6 sounds, positive and future-looking, doesn't it? So that's coming in. What kind of a step change in Wi-Fi capabilities is it going to bring?
So there's going to be 3 major areas of improvement, which are really going to set up Wi-Fi to be future-proof for a very long time. They deal with density, being able to handle hundreds of devices within a network very elegantly. And this is, getting ready for the era of IoT, when we really will have that many devices coexisting in one network. Another area is the area of performance at the edge. So, today many of us have the experience of Wi-Fi performance degrading as our signal goes down. Wi-Fi 6 will bring about new techniques that will make sure that even when you're at the very edge of the service footprint, that you continue to have an excellent experience. And the last thing I'll mention is enhanced mechanisms for an era of very popular Wi-Fi, where there'll be many networks coexisting in the same environment, perhaps using the same spectrum, and where they can coexist even better, right? So there's an element of devices being able to recognize which network they should pay attention to and which networks are out there, but they can ignore because it's not the network they're associated or connected to.
Because the present iteration of Wi-Fi is subject to interference, isn't it?
Obviously, Wi-Fi operates in unlicensed spectrum, so we're not just subject to Wi-Fi interference. And Wi-Fi has excellent etiquette, to be able to share the spectrum very well, as we have done for many years. But in addition, we accept interference from many other devices like remote controls and microwave ovens and other cordless devices that operate in the same spectrum.
So will Wi-Fi 6 lift it out of that interference bracket.
It will definitely make the coexistence much more elegant. As I mentioned, there will be, you can think of it as devices that are in the same room. They're speaking a different language and only hearing the communications that they should really be paying attention to. And that will bring about, much more optimized use for the same spectrum that's available.
Now, tell us about the Wi-Fi Alliance to start with. People who don't know, how did it come about and what do you do? And when you've done that, talk to us about collaboration between the Wi-Fi Alliance and the WBA.
Right. Wi-Fi Alliance is the epicenter of the Wi-Fi industry. One of our objectives is to define what Wi-Fi is, no less. When we came together, it was just a handful of companies that were trying to solve a simple problem of getting devices to work together across different brands. All of the Wi-Fi users, the billions of Wi-Fi users out there today, appreciate that we can take that for granted now. Devices work. They don't not just work across different brands, but they work across time. If you buy a device today and you have a Wi-Fi certified device from 10 years ago, everything works great. No need to get rid of anything that you've ever invested in Wi-Fi. So that issue is largely been solved. Today we have in Wi-Fi Alliance more than 800 companies that are still collaborating and having the earnest discussion and debate about the best ideas and what should be included in Wi-Fi for the next version. And just the way that we've been able to bring about better and better Wi-Fi experiences through the different generations in a way that's very seamless to the end user is a testament to the good way that we collaborate. And that's also representative of how we've collaborated with organizations like Wireless Broadband Alliance. In that case, we've been dealing, one of the focal topics that we've discussed with WBA for a number of years is seamless roaming and much better authentication experience that is much more akin to what folks are used to with cellular networks, where you just move about and your device automatically connects securely wherever you go. So we've been making strides, and now there's very many cities and operators that use Hotspot 2.0 is the name of the spec. Passpoint is the name of the brand name of the certification. And in WBA, they have addressed deploying Passpoint across different operator networks in a way that's interoperable. And they call that next generation hotspot. But it's all building blocks of the collaboration work that we've done with WBA.
We hear a lot more about Passpoint with every passing day, certainly much more than we used to. Can you tell us about its evolution and update us on where it's going?
So Passpoint is, again, it's this mechanism to try to bring about a way that devices automatically connect to the best network at the highest level of security. Initially, when we first started with this in Wi-Fi Alliance, it was simply a mechanism to approach that problem from the device to the access point, just to the network that you're connecting to. From there, it evolved to all of the needs on the infrastructure side for operators to leverage that and to allow them to use, for example, SIM credentials in their mobile device and to offer the Wi-Fi service either in their own network or through a partner network from another operator through a roaming agreement. And so that was sort of the next evolution of the solution. And that's working in different areas around the world. The good news is that this is another area where our community continues to innovate. So it's work that continues to this day. Part of what we do with WBA is getting involved on operator trials and getting in a lab with our community of vendors and operators to talk very specifically about what the next set of issues or the next set of opportunities that we need to address are. And our community in Wi-Fi Alliance is great at having understood a problem and understood its implication, going out and solving it. So you can continue to expect innovation around Passpoint for a number of years also.
A final question to you. Why is Wi-Fi so bad at an airport?
At airports? Well, I think that's highly a localized thing, right? So every airport is its own network, and various cities handle that differently, whether it's a city or whether it's an operator that is offering the service, or whether it's multiple operators that are offering that service. So I grant that the experience varies across different airports. And one of the good examples that we have here is, Boingo is on site here at WBA. They're probably a prime example of doing it right, operating, a very sophisticated architected network that offers Passpoint and NGH, so that as soon as users get off the airplane, they're connected and the devices operate seamlessly and securely. We'd like to see that, more of that around the world, and really, in fact, we'd like to see it everywhere, not just addressing the airport environments.
Good answer. You travel a lot, I travel a lot. We know that you say variable, depends where you are. It certainly does. But yeah, anyway, we shall see what happens. Until then, Edgar Figueroa, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Martin.